Welcome to CHX, where choices slowly redraw your future. Every step, every thought shifts the map ahead. So tell me, where will you aim your X? You're 34 years old. It's 7 a.m., the alarm clock screams again, pulling you from a sleep that never quite refreshes you. You stare at the ceiling for a moment, that familiar dread settling in like fog, another day in the same soul-crushing office grind. 10 years have slipped by in this routine. Spreadsheets that blur into one another, meetings that drag like chains, emails piling up like unanswered questions about your own life. The next 10 years. They'll look exactly the same unless you make a choice right now. But what kind of choice? The kind that saves you, or the kind that breaks everything you've built? If you were staring down this barrel, would you let your time bleed away in quiet desperation? Or would you throw it all into the fire and risk watching it all burn? Picture this. A decade ago, you walked across that stage with a smile that felt more like a mask, diploma in hand, full of vague dreams about making it. You stepped into this admin role because it seemed safe, steady paycheck to cover the rent, the groceries, the endless cycle of bills that never quite let you breathe. It works on paper. The money stretches just far enough for a modest apartment, a weekend takeout here and there, but that's it. No room for vacations, no buffer for emergencies, no space to dream bigger. Every evening you shuffle through the door, drop your bag, and collapse onto the couch. Sleep comes quick because exhaustion is your only escape, but it's shallow, restless, haunted by the what-ifs that whisper in the dark. Your spouse glances over from the kitchen, eyes soft with worry, and says, "We need at least one of us to stay steady. For us." You nod because you love them, because stability sounds like love in this economy. But inside, something's rotting. The stale air of fluorescent-lit cubicles clings to your clothes. The rhythmic clack of keyboards echoes like a prison sentence. That hollow ache in your chest? It started small, a twinge on Mondays, but now it's a constant companion, growing heavier, making every breath feel like surrender. You know the truth, though. Deep down, you've always known. This isn't living, it's surviving on autopilot. To break free, you'd need to learn something new, a skill that reignites that spark you lost somewhere between student loans and performance reviews. Maybe coding, piecing together lines of logic that actually build something real instead of shuffling data. Or graphic design, where colors and shapes let you create beauty from chaos. Or a hands-on trade like welding or plumbing, tangible, immediate, something you can touch and say, "I made that." But here's the gut punch. Any of those paths demands everything. 3 to 5 years minimum. Full immersion, courses that eat your evenings, practice that steals your weekends, mentors who expect commitment you barely have left. Do you quit the job outright, trading security for uncertainty, watching your savings evaporate while you chase a maybe? Or do you layer it on top, nights hunched over a laptop after 10-hour days, weekends vanishing into tutorials, your body screaming for rest? Or do you just endure, clock in, clock out, retire someday with a pension that's probably worthless by then, wondering if this was all the universe had scripted for you? No guarantees, of course. That's the cruel joke. You might pour your soul into it and emerge transformed. A freelancer with clients lining up, income doubling overnight, that hollow feeling replaced by purpose. Or you might hit wall after wall, rejections from gigs, skills that don't click no matter how hard you grind, ending up more broke, more isolated, staring at divorce papers because your spouse couldn't wait for the someday that never came. And the clock ticks louder every day. At 34, time isn't infinite anymore. Kids, a house, travel, those feel like luxuries for other people. Right now, it's just you, this crossroads, and the weight of knowing one wrong turn could waste the best years you have left. So what now? Stay safe and let regret fester. Leap and pray you land on your feet, or straddle the line until it snaps. Now 4 paths lie ahead. None of them promise salvation. They're just different ways to spend or squander the time you can't get back. Option A, stay and endure. The immediate appeal is simple: stability. No shaking the boat. You keep the paycheck rolling in, the routine that lets you pay bills without panic. Life chugs along, date nights when you can muster the energy, holidays with family that feel predictable if not passionate. Your spouse breathes easier, and maybe that's enough to quiet the noise in your head for a while. But the shadows creep in fast. Regret isn't loud, it's a slow poison. 5 years from now, you're 39, still staring at the same screen, the same coffee-stained mug, wondering where your fire went. Colleagues younger than you climb ladders you once eyed, and you smile through it, but inside, that hollow ache hardens into something sharper, maybe full-blown depression, where getting out of bed feels like climbing Everest. Step 2 down the line, a health scare, perhaps. Heart palpitations from stress you ignored, or a quiet unraveling of your marriage because your partner falls in love with the idea of you, not the zombie you've become. You adapt, tell yourself, security is freedom. But late at night, the what-ifs howl. What if I'd tried? What if this was my only shot? Option B, quit everything, start fresh. The rush of this one is intoxicating at first, total liberation. You walk out that door for the last time, laptop under arm, heart pounding with possibility. No more half measures, you're all in. Days blur into learning marathons, online courses at dawn, networking calls till midnight, building a portfolio that screams, "This is me now." If it clicks, 3 years later you're thriving, side gigs turning into a full pivot, income surging, that old job a distant memory. You've proven to yourself you could rebuild from ashes. But the fall can be brutal. Debt mounts like snow in an avalanche. Rent lags, credit cards max out, and suddenly you're juggling freelance scraps while the world spins on. Isolation bites deeper than you expect. No office chit-chat to fill the void, just you and your screen, second-guessing every keystroke. Step 1, those first 3 years. A grind of ramen noodles and rejection emails, your spouse's patience fraying as just a bit longer stretches into how much longer. Step 2, breakthrough or bust. You land the dream role, emerging stronger, wiser, or you crash, 37 and starting over in entry-level somewhere, marriage in tatters whispering to the mirror. What the hell was I thinking? Freedom tastes sweet, but it can leave you parched. Option C, double up, keep the job, grind the skill on the side. On paper, this screams balance. You hold the fort financially while carving out a secret second life. Nights become your rebellion, tutorials after dinner. Weekends lost to mock projects. Progress feels real. A certificate here, a small win there, proof you're not stagnant. Your spouse sees effort, not recklessness, and maybe even cheers you on. No total upheaval, just steady evolution. Yet the toll is insidious. Burnout isn't a sprint, it's a marathon you run blindfolded. Energy splits like a cracked dam, days at the desk drain you dry, leaving scraps for the skill chase. Step 1, sleepless stretches turn into chronic fog, arguments spark over why are you always on that thing, as connection fades. Step 2, halfway there, always halfway. The skill plateaus because you're spread thin, the job resents your divided soul. At 40, you're competent in 2 worlds but master of none, marriage cooler, body breaking down from the double load. You balance until the scales tip and something gives, a breakdown, a blowout, or both. Option D, half measures, endless tests. This one's the gentle illusion, dip a toe, not a dive. Pick a skill, enroll in a casual course, tinker with free apps on off nights. No big bets, just experiments to see if it fits. Low risk means low regret up front. You keep the job, the home life hums along, and hey, if it sparks joy, great, scale up later. But limbo is a thief in slow motion. Nothing commits, nothing thrives. Step 1, projects pile up unfinished, a half-coded app, a doodle sketch forgotten in a drawer while doubt festers. Am I even good at this? 5 years tick by in testing mode, opportunities slipping because you're never all in. Step 2, at 44, you're a jack of all trades, master of none, staring at a resume that's a patchwork of maybes. The marriage, stable but stale, your partner wonders if you'll ever choose something fully. Regret blooms quiet, all those years exploring, and where did they lead? Nowhere solid. You stay safe, but safety starts to feel like a cage with the door wide open. Which path calls to you? A, B, C, or D? Drop just the letter in the comments. Are you ready to waste time or roll those dice? Or you're still at that bed, paralyzed and unable to move or decide? Hit like if this hit home, and subscribe for more unfiltered dilemmas that make you question everything.